5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fantastic.
That actually went without something happening.
Yeah, because it's always you.
It's not always me.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
On the occasional week, it's Joe.
Kill yourself. Right, let's go.
It was on the week that I edited. I don't know why I fucked myself over.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another installment of the Fill Me In podcast, where this week we're just gonna... Right. Hello everyone, welcome back to another installment of the Fill Me In podcast, where this week we're gonna film you in all nice and smooth, like a smooth bowl of jam and listening to smooth jazz on smooth radio, because we're some smooth operators. Smooth operator! I'm your host, Xander Langwiston. With me, as always, is my wonderful group of co-hosts. We have, from the top down, Alex.
Hello.
We have Hamish.
Hello.
We have Joe.
Hello.
And we have Siwan.
Why does Joe have to ruin everything?
This week we're going to return to... We're going to return to our GOAT tournament. We are still in the first round of that. We're going to do the second half of the first round this episode. But before we get into that, who wants to tell me moan?
I think Hamish does.
Go on, Hamish. Got a big moan?
I recently just went to Manchester with Alex to meet up for a few days because
Yes.
I'm stuck in Ireland. Alex is stuck in wherever they are in the UK. Don't want to dox them.
Thank you.
So we reconvened back in Manchester, and of course, you know, I have to get a flight there. And on my flight there, there's this, sat beside this woman who's very underslept. I was like, that's fine, you know. She kept, trying to find somewhere comfortable. She was obviously, working through something, or something was working through her. Because by the time she got off the flight landed, we were on that stage and you want to stand up and, get off the fucking plane. You want to be polite and, would you mind standing up so I can get my bag, you know? Wasn't budging. And then turned around to me and let loose a ripping fart. The most, disgusting,
Of all the places I thought that story was going to go.
Just, the most vile, Geneva's phoning, it's a war crime. She then proceeded to look around. As if, oh, who could have done that? And then, made direct eye contact with me. And I really blankly stared at her. I wasn't giving her the pass. It was, 10 minutes into that whole stand-up phase. I had a train I was trying to go catch to meet Alex. And no, I was instead blocked by this half-asleep woman who then proceeded... Her parting gift to me was the parting of her fucking ass as it, ugh! It was actually disgusting. Pure egg salad kind of fart.
Alex desperately trying not to laugh.
It's... My moan is people on airplanes, right? You're in a public place. I get if you're out in the street, let one rip. But if you're in a confined area, it's like farting in an elevator, dude. It's
It's airtight, it's sealed.
It's
is a
recycled
vacuum.
air! It's recycled air, motherfucker!
The fact that she did it
That
after
fart
you
is going to
landed
come
as
back to
well.
haunt you in 20 minutes.
It's the fact, it wasn't as if we were in transit or anything and oh, I know it's gonna get done. I'm there. I want to leave. You're blocking me from leaving. Just let me leave. And then the torture comes. My moan is people on airplanes, dude. Oh, I have such a bone to pick with them.
That's rough. That's rough.
I
Having
thought
just
that
been
was
on an
amazing.
airplane, I can confirm that people on airplanes do kind of suck sometimes.
It was honestly one of those farts that you hear and it's that could have been more than a fart.
It's fart.
Fantastic. That's a great start to the moan section. Who has another moan?
I hate the prices of dolls these days.
I know.
Alex, you cannot talk. You sell them for that price too.
Nah, they're vintage though. No, I'm not being funny.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay, so I'm an avid Monster High fan. That's just like me, because I hate growing old and I'm clinging to every ounce of my childhood. And yeah, I have a load of the vintage ones and I'm selling them and stuff. But that's because like people are like mass collectors and like, you know, that's just the way with everything. The older it gets, the more value it has. Unlike Xander, but. You know, things like Monster High dolls.
Hang on.
Oh my god!
What's with the drive-by?
There are these Monster High dolls, and don't get me wrong, Monster High dolls are always known for like their detail and their intricacy, and it's just like they're made and they're beautiful and they're you know they're brilliant. But £30 for a doll, and I know you guys can't see this, but I'm gonna show this to like the cast. This was £30.
I'd say that's worth it.
I mean, yeah.
Only because I bought a John Hurt figure for 40,
Why?
That's on you,
and that's
though, bud.
bigger and has more colour, and probably more articulation.
Nah, this has got way loads of articulation, bro.
You'd
I don't know.
You'd actually be quite surprised.
Yeah, Hamish was there when I was going, yay!
Yeah.
And I was like unboxing them.
Oh my god,
But-
the fingers move.
I don't know. It just seems a lot. £30. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old, and when I was younger and I could buy a doll for £12 that had the exact same detail as those. I think I'm just getting old.
the economy, Alex.
It's just the economy.
cost
It's
of
just
living
the
crisis.
economy.
It's just the economy.
But
Yeah, we're in Cosy Lives, you know.
Cosy
Those
lives,
bloody
innit? Cosy
Freddos.
lives, and I'm buying plastic. Let's go.
Ever since Brexitino happened.
Brexit means Brexit, and it's fucked up my doll prices. That's what it's
Yeah.
done.
Doctor Who figures
And you
at
can't buy
B&M
Magic
are
Stars
more expensive
anymore.
now.
You
Can
God.
buy Magic
Wait,
Stars
what?
still.
Do you remember when that was a story?
I remember when that was a story. When I found that out, I cried. I was like 16 when I found that out, and I cried. I love Magic Stars. Right, there you go. That's my man.
Siwan,
There's-
do you have a moan?
Sorry, there's a joke I'm going to quickly make and you can bleep it out, or just not include it, but...
Siwan, do you have a moan for us?
Sure. Do you know how? Well, okay, maybe you don't know, but like this week, Beyond the Spider-Verse came out on DVD, and I, wanted to buy it because I very much like the film. Now, my brother works in Morrison's, so I kind of like asked him first if it was there, and then I'd either ask him to get it for me or I'd go get it myself, and he like kept saying no, no, and no. Like every day they weren't there. So I ended up buying it on Amazon. But the thing I've also realised lately, now, this is surrounding Ant-Man Quantumania. Now, I know not everybody's a big fan of that film, right? I understand. But I want to get all the Marvel films on DVD. I want them all, right? So, I've every time I've gone to a shop, I've been looking for Quantumania, and it's never there. And I'm just like, this has been out now for almost a year. Like, February it's going to come up here. So it's 9 months by now? Almost. And it's still nowhere on DVD. So what I'm wondering, because I remember a headline saying that Disney were going to stop selling DVDs in Australia. I'm starting to think they've subtly done it here and we don't know. Because I have not seen Quantumania anywhere in shops. And I want it. So that's my moan.
I have.
It's
Oh,
not.
where?
It's not even in CX. I went in CX to find it, and it had every Ant-Man film apart from that.
I saw
Yeah,
it.
it's here. It's here on Amazon.
Yeah, I know it's on
I
Amazon,
I mean,
but
like,
in shops.
Sander.
I saw it in HMV.
Do you know where my closest HMV is?
Yeah,
England.
yeah. I think there's some supermarkets just don't stock all the different DVDs. You'd
Some
have to go
of
to
them
somewhere
sell
that-
any.
Yeah. So my
The death of
complaint is
Which
that
is a- which
DVDs
is a
aren't being
damn
sold
shame.
anymore.
Yeah, no. I mean, Quantumania is already on Disney Plus. That's what Disney cares about now, because it means they, with Blu-ray, if you buy a Blu-ray, you have it forever. It is physically yours. Whereas if you go on Disney Plus and stream it, then they can take it away from you whenever they want.
That's really.
And you have to pay them you have to pay them £7 a month, £8 a month to essentially rent that movie instead of owning it. Like physically, you can just watch it whenever you want. So that way they still own that version of the movie. It's all really messed up. But yeah, no, that is a problem that places just don't sell DVDs anymore.
They're idiots.
Fools.
Yeah. Right, I have technically two,
Go for it.
but I'll see how long this first one takes to see if I do the second one. The main moan for the week is this happened last week. I put an article in the chat on our Discord server.
Oh yeah.
About a news story that broke last week about Rotten Tomatoes, and it was about a PR company called Bunker 15 who have reportedly been paying critics to give movies a favourable review on Rotten Tomatoes. And I've read into this. I've watched a lot of stuff on it, and it's obviously the article, the thing on Twitter, the pull quote is like Rotten Tomatoes is a scam. People are, it's easily manipulated, all that sort of stuff, and it absolutely is. But it's interesting if you look into this, because a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is the end of Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like this. But I think it was interesting if you look further into it. It was only one movie that they claimed to have used this tactic on. So what happened was this movie. It was a Daisy Ridley movie called Ophelia, which was like Hamlet, but from Ophelia's perspective. I think it was back in 2018, 2019. When it released in festivals, it didn't get favourable reviews. It was sat on Rotten Tomatoes with, I think, 57 or 47%. So Bunker 15 were then hired as a PR firm to try and, get people interested in this movie again. And they were offering critics $50 to review the movie. And they said that if you have a favourable review, it will be put on the Rotten Tomatoes site. But if you don't have a favourable review, it will be put on a separate blog and not put on Rotten Tomatoes. So then after this, I think it was like 8 critics or something they got to do this. The audience, the critic score went up to 62%, so that's fresh. And then the movie got distribution. So their tactic worked, but it's like really scummy. But then, people have been going out and saying, oh, this is what Marvel have been doing for years and all that stuff, and it's total nonsense. So what I would recommend people do is read up on this, because I've seen so many things on Twitter talking about it, and people clearly haven't read it and have no idea what they're talking about. So it's a really interesting story, and it will be interesting to see how it develops. But my moan is read up on this. Don't just look at a headline, because I saw the headline and was like, whoa, okay, that's really interesting. And that's why I put it in the chat initially, and then I looked into it, and so it's a really interesting topic to read up on, and hopefully it gets resolved soon. But yeah, my moan is read things and don't just take it at face value.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Like Mary Poppins Returns.
Formulate your own opinion, and don't just say the internet's my opinion. Cough, cough.
Exactly.
Someone me and Alex used to know, who was a vast collector of Funko Pops, used to watch any trailer that would drop from Marvel or DC, and would absolutely live by those trailers. He used to DM me, or message in our private group chat, being like, "Hamish, have you seen this movie? The trailer? It's going to be phenomenal." Or, "Did you just hear Marvel just announced a 3rd Ant-Man movie? I'm so excited."
And then when the film came out and it was different from the trailer, he'd start flipping out. He was like, "It's fucking disgusting! It's not the same!"
Yeah, go formulate your own opinion on shit.
I was like, okay, bud.
Yeah, man. My other moan was gonna be Disney's Haunted Mansion.
Oh, it's so...
Because the movie The movie has been announced to be coming to Disney Plus in about 2 weeks' time, and I just want to say, like, what on earth were they thinking with this movie? For one thing, releasing it in August, a week after, like, or 2 weeks after Barbenheimer. Why do that? Then it cost $150 million. That movie cost $150 million.
Ooh.
And it's barely made that. It's gonna lose Disney over $100 million.
I'm not quite.
That's crazy.
I'm-
And then, like, why not? If they released it like now, it could have still been in cinemas till October. But instead, they've gone for, well, we know it's not great, so we'll just pump it into cinemas early, so then we can put it on Disney Plus for Halloween. And it's just an awful strategy and laughable. So my mom was at Disney, like, what on earth were you thinking with Haunted Mansion this year?
I'm not quite
Crazy.
past that movie's cast. Because it's like...
Yeah, it's got a great
It's
cast.
got a great cast. They did cast Jared Leto. But,
Yeah. Ugh.
Joe...
I was gonna say, speaking of bad like Halloween choices, why the hell? This is a tiny tangent. Why the hell are Marvel re-releasing Werewolf by Night but in color?
Yeah.
It was so good because it was in black and white.
Wait, what?
They're
I
They're
re-releasing it
re-releasing
in
it
colour.
in color,
Why?
and the
Yeah,
footage
they
looks like
announced it
it was
yesterday.
like colorized by AI. It doesn't look right.
No.
No, the thing is, the girl's
Like
jacket
the whole
seems
point
to
of
be
the
grey.
ending is that it. But the ending is like it changes to color, so that's not gonna have any like resonance now if the whole thing is in color.
No, because
Yeah,
it's going to
no, it's,
go from pearly coloured to good colour.
It's gonna be like, oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's what I was supposed to be watching. That's awful.
It's
Yeah,
like they've
no,
run out of
but
like
honestly,
ideas
all-
or something.
Yeah, all the reactions I've seen to this have been like, oh, the strikes are hitting real bad, right? Like, because they've
It's
just run out of ideas.
It's a bit
now.
like the Toy Story NBA game or whatever it was.
Yeah, what on earth?
What the hell
is
was that?
Yeah, Disney,
I've-
Disney on a laughably bad streak right now.
I saw a post about that Toy Story thing, and I have not read into it any further. I actually don't care to.
Oh no, same there. That was all I saw. I was like, huh? Literally pointless. It's like me animating me doing a shit in the style of Toy Story. Who's gonna watch it? You know?
Me.
Jesus Christ.
That was a good moan section. Shall we continue to the main section of this podcast?
See,
I guess we have to.
Right, so we're heading back into our GOAT tournament, greatest of all time. We're on the second half of the playing round. We have 6 matchups for you of varying quality. There's some really interesting matchups here, and I think they're prime for some good discussion. So we'll get straight into it. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, let's do it.
If you're not caught up with the GOAT tournament so far, this is actually the 3rd episode of it, so make sure you go back and listen to the other ones if you want to stay up to date. But now we'll go into the round. The first matchup of the day it's the number 22 seed, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, and that is on Joe's list. And that faces off against the 43 seed, and this is from my list. It's Blind Spotting. Very different movies.
Very different.
Maybe
they are
like,
very different.
This might be the most different of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe not actually. Maybe not. There's a couple later on, but this is